The idea that Trump was truly America first in any way that really mattered was always a farce. You can see the way that he sucks up to foreign dictators and covers for them, but it was truly on display yesterday in the Oval Office. So he's got the guy who ordered the butchering of journalist Jamal Khashoggi sitting there. And it's not just that he's having the meeting and maybe MBS will be really defensive about questions about it. No, Donald Trump decided to get defensive on behalf of the murderous dictator. And it's even worse in some ways than I made it seem in that intro. Take a look.
Is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the US intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news, ABC fake news, one of the worst in the business, but I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen, but he knew nothing about it. And we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Think about how lucky that murderous bastard feels. He didn't even need to really respond. He can just sit back, yeah, dog, do my work for me. Talk about how, yeah, no, it's all great. He didn't know anything about it. I mean, the CIA looked into it and said that he definitely ordered it. And he certainly looked put out, right? Oh, he looked so aggrieved by the fact that Jamal Khashoggi was murdered and cut into multiple pieces. But no, he didn't even need to say anything because his bought dog, Donald Trump, will do the barking for him. How dare you ask that question? How dare you ask obvious questions that people want answers to? How dare you represent families of the victims of 9/11? How dare you represent the widow of Jamal Khashoggi who still hasn't gotten the remains back, feels like she's been abandoned by her own government? How dare you ask all these questions? No, you're fake news because you dare to stand up to either me or to my other elite buddies. That was, and I know I say this a lot, and I feel like I'm right every time I say it, that should be the line that nobody will allow Donald Trump to cross. That he said of a murdered journalist, he was controversial. A lot of people didn't like him. Things happen. Now I gotta make some money. This is my buddy. We're setting up golf courses. We're building buildings and stuff like that. Who cares if he had a journalist hacked up into multiple pieces? And it's okay, Sharon. It's okay. I don't see a lot of MAGA having an issue with this. This is America first, I guess. Doing the work of a murderous dictator. What do you think?
Yeah, and if he would have only just said, look, some sicko things happen. However, we're moving on. This is what we're doing. We've made a calculation and we're moving on. It's not what he said. He covered up for, and by the way, MBS, the cutaways that they did show of him, he went back and forth like a pendulum between this sheepish, 13-year-old just hitting puberty with this like stupid affect and grin on his face. And then other times he has very long eyelashes and you could tell he's kind of looking down in shame because nobody ever in his space, okay, or in his palaces, nobody ever is allowed to shame him. So this ABC journalist confronting him, okay, you're not even supposed to touch this guy, which Trump keeps doing, keeps putting his hand on his back, touching his hand. Like that's a death sentence where MBS comes from. So there's that. But for most Americans to watch this, remember this guy was cut apart alive with a chainsaw, with this disgusting pig doctor who did it. Do we have to call him that? Who told, put headphones, it'll make it easier for you, as this guy is writhing in pain. And there's actual audio recordings of this somehow. Okay, Turkey gave over something or another. Remember what happened here. And this guy is allowed to stank up the people's house. This guy is allowed to sit there making deals and calling reporters insubordinate. Get him the hell out of there 100%. Now. Epstein's just the beginning. Now drive a truck through it, impeach his ass, and get him out of there. He's not fit. You called him a dog, and my dogs are howling out back right now. They're not well behaved, but they resent it. They actually resent that you called that guy a dog. Okay, he's below animal status. Disgusting.
100%.
Just tell you a little bit how I feel.
A little bit. I actually got that. Him being impeached in the end won't end up doing anything, but it still needs to happen. Once the Democrats win the midterms, Trump is going to offer up every week an opportunity and do it every week. By the way, if we could just spare 1 minute and we'll move on to other news. Pay attention just a second, President Piggy. You know what an actual man would do? You know what he would have done with MBS in that office? He would have snapped his fingers. FBI would have come in, hauled him away in chains, locked him up, get actual justice for either the widow, for the other journalists who lost their colleague, for the families of the victims of 9/11, and you could have sent a strong signal to the world that I'm not gonna let petty little corruption over business deals, or you think you can strong arm America over like the placement of bases or whatever. No, we're not gonna let you just butcher people, okay? And then think that you can just be a member in good standing of the international community. No, get the hell out of here. You do that sort of stuff, you're gonna be hauled away, you're gonna be locked up. That's what an actual strong leader would do, but Donald Trump isn't a strong leader. Donald Trump is an incredibly corrupt leader who cares about making a little bit of money and earning the approval of that dictator. Absolutely grotesque.